the more you do something, the more you get used to it. And it was a similar thing with public speaking. I still remember like the first time I spoke in front of a really large audience. It was like, I don't know, 500 people maybe, back in 2012. Being on stage and having a lot of people sitting and watching, I was shaking, you know, it felt very intimidating. But then I started reading all the comments and a bunch of people were like, hey, you did great, I really loved it, I think you were the best speaker. And then there were a couple of people criticizing my clothes. People would expect you to wear a dress and super elegant, and I was just wearing jeans and I don't know what. I slowly, like, that made me stronger. So if you're listening and those are the type of things that make you feel bad, like people criticize the way you look, the way you sound, then you realize that there will always be people criticizing those things. So the more you do it, you'll see that, you know, there will be a small amount of people criticizing you, but there will be an even bigger amount of people praising you and enjoying what you do. So I thought I needed. Hey guys, well, so I just finished an interview for an interview series that a good friend of mine from Australia is doing. He's interviewing a bunch of entrepreneurs about manifesting wealth, about building businesses online. It's supposed to be this summer here in Scotland, but if you know anything about the UK, it is not a place known for super high temperatures. So now I'm just gonna spend most of today getting some work done. I have to finalize some details for my workshop coming up this weekend in London. So I have to actually create an account on this website and get the banner printed. Actually, let me show you what the banner is going to look like. So, yeah, that's gonna be the banner for the event. It's called Marketing Rockstars Live, and I'm super excited. It's gonna be a small group. I think I'm gonna have like 6 or 7 people there, which is good because I like small events. I usually do small events where I charge high ticket. So these people paid a lot of money to be there. I keep it small so that I can really serve them, pay attention to each and every one of them. Soon I'll be doing a more, I don't want to say massive, because it'll still be kind of small, but bigger, I guess, bigger seminar workshop. So you gotta keep up to date with my vlogs and my videos and my emails, all my content actually. So in the description of this video, you will find a way to sign up for my VIP marketing newsletter so that you never miss updates from me, promotions, news, and anything that is going to make an impact in your life and in your business. I keep the best content for my email subscribers, so you definitely want to be there. Anyway, I gotta get back to work, so I'll see you later. Hey guys, what's happening? So it's a new day over here in Edinburgh. I think I'm just gonna keep saying Edinburgh, it's just easier. Yesterday there wasn't that much to share. Like I told you, I was focused on getting some work done. I did the interview, shared a little bit of that with you, and I tried to stay in to take care of my cold, but it stopped raining now, so we are going to go grab some lunch and hopefully we'll have something to share with you later. It's a very cold day. How cold do you think it is?
No, it's not that cold.
But it's colder than the other days.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know, 14 degrees Celsius.
I'm thinking 12. Looks like we're going to have lunch in here. Free Wi-Fi. We need some free Wi-Fi. My estimation was closer. It's 13 Celsius.
You said 12, I said 14.
Yeah, but I said colder. What did you order for dessert?
Chocolate gnocchi.
What's inside? Chocolate?
Chocolate inside.
Wow, I need to try them. Okay guys, what's happening? Lunch was very nice and we are actually back at the Greyfriars, however you pronounce it, cemetery, and our mission today is to find the original Tom Riddle's grave. So we're waiting for my friend right now. She said she found out where the grave is, so if you're a Harry Potter fan, you will like it. Okay, we found it. Thomas Riddle. Well, it's spelled Riddle.
It's me.
No, it's not you. This is inside the cemetery. Of course it is. But yeah, this is where J.K. Rowling got the idea for the name of Tom Riddle. That's it. And this other grave, supposedly, this is how she got the inspiration for McGonagall's name.
Time to make a start. It's lovely to see you all, and quite a nice evening. Well, welcome. First of all, I'll introduce myself. My name's Rebecca and I am your tour guide for this evening. It's the Double Dead Tour. We'll be making our way to two of Edinburgh's, well, the world's most haunted places. First of all, into the South Bridge Vaults. It's part of the city's legendary underground, the internal structure of the bridge itself. I do believe it's genuinely haunted. People regularly experience things in there that we really can't explain. And then we'll be making our way through to Greyfriars Graveyard. Now, Greyfriars, it was the most important graveyard in the city for nearly 3 centuries. It's a fascinating place. There are a lot of famous people buried there, of course, but on this tour, on this tour, we're most interested in a section that's now locked to the public. That area is the Covenanters' prison. It's locked because of a thing that we call the Mackenzie poltergeist. And the Mackenzie poltergeist has a rather interactive nature. It attacks our visitors. And there is quite a wide range of activity that goes on in there. In the most exciting, most extreme cases, people suddenly collapse. Now, I'll be honest with you, we call that a knockout. I haven't had a knockout for a little while, so I am really hoping tonight will be a night. But before we start on the tour proper, we'll be around the corner. I'm gonna...
Idiot screaming.
Round the corner for a little bit of history, this way. But this city, Edinburgh, it's a fascinating place. You will have noticed the old town itself is very small. In fact, up until about the mid-1700s, the entire city of Edinburgh was only about 1 mile long and 1/4 of a mile wide. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't worry about ghosts. No, you don't need to be frightened of them. They can't hurt you. There's a thing that we call the South Bridge entity. It's physical, it's nasty, in many ways it's similar to the Mackenzie poltergeist, and it's been around for a long time. First recorded attack happened before there were any ghost tours. We've noticed the activity increases as we move through. Perhaps it's because we get further away from the doorway, caves, the light. Or maybe this thing just doesn't want us around. These vaults were one of the last to be opened up and to be used. Some say, you know, by the time we move through, it's had enough and it's trying to frighten us off. This is late last year. On almost every one of my tours, the same thing happened. It was always to a young woman. They were all in their early 20s. They all felt a tingling sensation across their back. Just a tingling, nothing more. Then when we went out, we'd have a look. They all had long scratches that ran across the back. Now, there are 11 of these women in total. It just kept happening until I started talking about it on the tour and it stopped. Moved on to something else. The haunted South Bridge is said to be cursed. Probably for good reason. They started building these bridges in 1763, but the process was plagued with problems, people falling, fatal injuries. In fact, the first attempt at building the North and South Bridge ended in collapse. At least 5 people died. When it was finally completed, the day of the opening ceremony came. It was an older woman who'd been asked to perform the opening ceremony. She died the day before, but her family insisted she fulfill her duty. She opened the bridge in her hearse. The first vehicle to travel across the North and South Bridge was a hearse. Not a good one. Executions, let's say they were popular. And if you were a famous criminal, after you were executed, they'd cut you down and hack off your head. Your severed head would then be put on one of those spikes and left to rot for weeks. The skulls were there as warnings to others not to commit the same crimes. Now, across the road here, the bottom gates to Greyfriars Graveyard, these gates are locked, but I've got the key. We'll be going through the gates. I'll ask you to make your way to the top of the stairs. Once we're all in and the gates are locked behind us, I'll join you.
We're back in the graveyard, but through a different entrance. And supposedly we're going to see stuff that we couldn't see before.
I've never been in a graveyard at night.
Me neither.
Graveyard is said to be built on a thin place, a place where ghosts can easily visit, where mediums come to speak with the dead. Ghost sightings have been legendary here, probably the most famous being a lady in white. Now she's believed to be a good spirit bringing good news, so you might want to keep an eye out for her. And Greyfriars, it's not a big space. And you'll see when we go to the far corner, that's where the Covenanters prison is. Not a big area at all, only around 500 headstones. Not many when you consider this was the main graveyard for a very overcrowded city for nearly 3 centuries. Would anyone like to guess how many bodies there are buried here? Just a guess.
1,000.
Good guess, more than that.
200,000.
More than that?
Million.
Not a million. Probably not that many, and we don't know for sure. Many people were buried in here illegally. There was a criminal pit and a plague pit in this area as well. Bodies were exhumed from St Giles and then reburied here. Wealthy people had headstones, but poor people didn't. So conservative estimates put it at 400,000 bodies.
Whoa.
This means a couple of things. First of all, I wouldn't worry about standing on anybody's grave. Yeah, everywhere you go, even on the paths, you're probably standing on at least a dozen. You see, even with legitimate burials, they were stacked one on top of the other to fit as many as possible in. When we get a lot of rain, the topsoil starts to wash away. The water table rises, bones. Human remains stick up through the surface. Now I had a lady come up to me, and she was she worked in forensics, so she was an expert, if you like. And it was a lovely light summer's evening. She came up to me at the end of the tour. In her hands were 7 pieces of a human spine, and she found them sticking up through the grass just on the other side of the kirk. Now if you do stumble across any human remains, if you hear something crack beneath your feet, you look down, it's not a twig. Generally we say to people, don't pick the bones up. More importantly, don't take them home as a souvenir.